name's Robin Lambert, I'm 19 years old and living with cerebral palsy, but you guys know me as the T-Rex, and you're watching my T-Rex life. Okay guys, recently on this channel I reviewed the film Me Before You and pointed out how it wasn't the best example of a disability narrative within our media, and it wasn't really a positive force for people with disability. But as the naturally positive person that I am, I wanted to make a video of an example of a group that have done it right. So today I'm going to be reviewing the film Finding Dory and showing you how, although it isn't perfect, it is a very positive example of disability within our media, and it has some really important messages about disability. Now this film, at the heart of things, shows that with the right community support and parental support, that disabilities don't have to be limitations, and also that disabilities can actually add to who we are and lead to developing certain characteristics that are actually beneficial and can be a positive force within our lives. It also shows people that people with disabilities can adapt and do things in their own way, and that, for kids with disabilities, that doing things in your own way is okay, and that doing things differently can work. It also shows us that by doing things differently, it might take a little bit longer, but in the end, we can get the results that we want, and we can be on that even playing field. The one thing that I love about this film is it doesn't try to show us that Dory needs a cure, and it also doesn't rely on inspiration porn. So really, Dory doesn't have to overcome adversity, or she doesn't have to be, an inspiration to everyone else. She just has to live her life in the way that her disability allows. And even towards the end, other characters realize this too. Marlon realizes that her memory problems or her disability have actually led her to be more independent and creative in the way that she goes about navigating the world. And he learns through that to let go a little bit and let her be the independent person that she can be. And we also see other representations of disability within this movie. We see a blind whale who's helped out by another whale, and again Nemo obviously features with his little fin. So it shows us that disability isn't a rare thing. There's actually lots of people living with different disabilities within our society and within the fish community. Like I said though, this film isn't perfect. There is a sea lion in this film that appears to have some kind of cognitive disability who is bullied by the other sea lions and is kind of used as a comedic tool for us to laugh at him, which is not ideal. And I also think through talking to other disability activists and things like that, the ending or, the environment of her home could have been used to show some kind of societal responsibility for accessibility. Once Dory returned home, it would have been good to see her little community put in safeguards to make her home more accessible, to help her out in her day-to-day life, rather than her just using the skills that she's developed to be successful. And lastly, the whale who can't use his echolocation. So that's seen as a sort of a disability, he can't use that. And the whale just believes that, the other whale just believes that, he's not believing in himself, and it's all kind of in his head. And then when he does start to believe in himself, he all of a sudden overcomes his disability and can use his echolocation. Which unfortunately is a plot line used in lots of inspiration porn type narratives. If you believe hard enough and you work hard enough, you can overcome your disability. But I guess in another sense you could see it as him overcoming his perceived limitations. We often don't believe in ourselves, and that stops us from doing the things that we want to. Even as a disabled person, sometimes I haven't believed in my own physical abilities, and then when I've really thought about it and broke it down, I've been able to do things that I never thought I'd be able to do. So we could look at it that way perhaps, but I think generally, it can be taken as sort of going down that kind of trope, which is a little bit negative. But I think overall this film is great for disability. It shows people that we don't have to be limited by them, and like I said, if we can be supported by our friends and our family, we can be truly independent, and that if we, don't just immediately look at disability as a negative thing, it can almost enhance who we are, and it can offer certain things to us. I definitely feel that in my personal life. I think if I wasn't born with a disability, I'd be a different person, and I think My disability has helped me to build a stronger sense of empathy and determination, and it also has given me a lot of opportunities in life to meet some really cool people, to travel the world as an athlete, and all of these other things. And again, I think it shows us that disability is normal, that there are many people within our society with disabilities, and while we should help them out while they need it, we shouldn't be treating them any differently. Even Marlin, one of the characters in this film, insults Dory, saying that all she's good for is forgetting things, essentially attacking her in a moment of his own frustration because of her disability. But I think Nemo and the other characters, and even himself, towards the end come to the realization that it's really just part of who she is, and if they want to be seen as a family and as friends, then that's got to be understood and worked with, and we shouldn't attack someone for something that they don't have any control over. So I think that's also a really great message for children. So I'd just like to say big thumbs up, Pixar. Like I said, while it might not be 100% perfect, I think in our current media landscape, it's a bloody big step up from a lot of the films we've been seeing recently, and I really commend your effort to discuss disability in such a fun and funny and exciting way. If I took out all of the thoughts about disability in my brain and watched this movie, I would still thoroughly enjoy it, which is what you want, because you want all kinds of audiences to be able to watch this and hopefully come out with some, message at the end. And yeah, good work, guys. Let me know your comments down below on the film Finding Dory. Let me know what you thought, how it could be improved, or what you think it did well. But most importantly, guys, remember to stay shiny, because I love you.